we'll just have a quick look what we have discussed yesterday. So we have discussed about the SAPMM. It is a part of a ERP. So SAP ERP is an enterprise resource planning. So this is a commercial software that will integrate all the information all together in a single software. We are having different modules. We just connect all those modules. So this is a one software having different modules. So consider as a single software that will handle the complete enterprises, and it will save the time and the cost of the organization. An organization can easily meet their business demand with the help of the SAP. Now, what SAP has does, whatever the business processes that does every organization is having, SAP divides those business processes in the form of a module. Particular business process, SAP designed one module. We are going to discuss here is material management module, SAP material management. So for every specific task, for every business process, SAP has designed a separate module. So that's why if you come across the SAP, you will find that on a yearly basis, you will find a new modules may come up. Suppose a new industry gets generated and new business got generated, new business process gets generated. Now we are working on the artificial intelligence. Bot are working in most of the companies. Artificial bots, robots are working. So in that case, a new process gets generated in the organization. So SAP will develop a new module for that. So these modules are nothing. This specifies the separate business processes that an organization is having. So it is a part of the logistic area that helps to manage the procurement activity of an organization. So this is an important task of the material management. As we have discussed, it is a part of the logistic, and main task is to procurement. Supports all the aspects of the material management, planning and control. So what are the features of SAPMM? It is one of the modules that deals with material management and inventory management. Basically two things that we deal in the SAPMM: material management and the inventory management. So what is material management? We have to just ensure that there is never a shortage of material in the supply chain process. So this is a material management. So as a MM module guy, in an organization, we have to ensure that the production will not get affected due to the low inventory. So this is the main task. In if the machinery get stops due to bad super planning, due to bad material management, so it will definitely, the boss will fire you, boss will give a heat on you, kind of. So material management, this is a very important thing. Inventory management also very important. Production should not affect, supply chain process should run in smooth. Demand and supply you have to manage. So it deals with managing the materials, product and services resource of an organization with the aim of accelerating productivity, reducing costs and increasing improvement. So if an organization hires you as a SAP MM module consultant, so definitely that organization should get something in return. So what are the benefits of implementing SAP MM, and why an organization hires a talented technical person at a higher pay to manage those modules? Why? Because if they implement SAP MM and they hire a guy who has a knowledge of implementing SAP MM module, so with the help of that, organization can save. It means the savings will be high, costing will be low, improvement will be high, productivity will be high, efficiency will be high. So these are some of the various advantages that an organization is having. That's why they implement SAP module and they hire those people. It deals with procurement process, master data, material and vendor master, account determination, valuation, inventory management, invoice verification, material requirement planning. So this is a brief of the SAP MM module which we all have discussed yesterday. So I'll start with the screens. Yesterday I told you that I'll show you the screens. So I'll show you step by step. So today I'll start with the basic, how you have to log in screen, log out, and what are the basic screens. Okay, basic knowledge of screens. Here it is: log in, log out, how you have to log in, how SAP looks like. So once you log in, once you there is one small icon on the desktop, that is the SAP icon. Just like we are having Google Chrome, Mozilla, like that, we are having one icon over the desktop. When you click on that, that login screen will get opened. So this is the login screen. In this you have to enter the client, user and the password. So user and password, you might know that it's a common thing, just like we are having Gmail user ID and the Gmail password. Now what is client? You can say these are different clients system is having. So what SAP has does, SAP provides a different clients you are running. Suppose there are 3 to 4 clients every organization is having. One is the developer client, one is the production client, another is the quality client. So these clients are the, we can say, different phases of the SAP. Whatever the data is there, different phases of the data are there in the clients. So we have to mention the client. So it will be 100, 200, 400, 600, 800, 700, like this. Generally the clients are like this. So first we have to enter the client, then you have to enter the username and then password and then enter. Okay, any issue here? Are you clear about the client?
So what is this type of what is the type of window? We call it as SAP ERP servers or what it is? Whole
Yeah, this is SAP
program.
ECC server. This, yeah, this is SAP ECC server. ERP software
EC.
ECC server.
Okay, right. So like we name like Excel as a window, so we just call this as
Yeah,
ECC.
similar way. Are you clear about the client username and password? I think it's quite clear from the, it's
Yeah,
quite logical.
I mean that
Are you
that
clear
company
about the
provides
client?
you with the username and password, right? It
Yeah,
comes when the
company will
software
provide
is
you that.
launched. On,
Yeah, username and password is quite slow. Means this is quite logical. What I'm trying to say, are you clear about the client? That what does the client mean?
no, no, no. Can you just repeat that thing again?
Better I'll explain you with an example. So let us consider an example. In an organization, a new trainee come up and they just want to work on the SAPMM. Okay, so what will happen from the first day? Will the organization provide you the access of the master data or the production data? A new guy, a new trainee, organization provide an access
Hmm.
to the complete data, complete master data, complete production data? No, it will not. Definitely it will not. So clients are, we can say, different phases of the SAP that an organization maintains. So if I talk about the 800 client, let us take an example. 800 is the production client. Production is the final client. Whatever day-to-day transactions happens in an organization, that will happen in the production. Okay, so 800 is the production client. Now a new trainee comes up and he will be on a training of 2 months. Let us consider an example. A new trainee joins an organization and he will be on training for 2 months in the organization. So for those 2 months, will that trainee work on the SAP? Yes, he will work on SAP, but he will not work on 800 client. What organization will does? They will provide a username and password for 100 client. So 100 is the test client, we can say. So when a user log in with a 100 client, so whatever changes it will do, whatever the master data he will create, whatever the transaction data he will create, whatever the vendor master data, that will remain in that client only. That will not go to the production client. Production client is the final version, means it is the current, active, final, whatever you say. This is the normal version, day-to-day version. But for practice, we are having a separate client, 100 client. On that we can practice anything. You can delete any vendor data, you can delete any master data, you can create any vendor data, you can create any master data, you can do anything. Okay, so this is for the practice purpose, 100 client. Now if I,
So,
let
so,
us talk about the 200 client.
so the company will be selecting this 100 clients. I mean, probably they don't have any
Yeah, yeah,
business
yeah,
with.
yeah. They will definitely work on the final client. So the 800, 500, 400. So what I'm trying to say, client represents the system. Production system means the current running active system. Yeah, you should be cautious while dealing with the master data, transaction data. So while dealing with the production client, okay, so this is the production client. For a new trainee, I, as an organization, I'll not give my final production client to the new trainee. So first I'll create a client of 100. I'll just copy all the data from 800 to 100 client. So whatever things are there on the 800 client, as of today, it will be remaining, it will be remain there in the 100 client. But after 10 days, the client data will change, but not 100 change. Only when a new trainee will play with that client. Another example, suppose I create a client of 400, that is for the quality check in the sense. Now let's talk about the bigger organization that is having vendor data of billions of records of vendor data, billions of record of master data. So will I copy all the billion of records in the 100 client? No, I'll copy only the 10 or 20 records of the 800 client to the test client for the testing, the learning purpose, to save the space of the database. Are you getting my point?
So, what kind of development they are going to go? I mean,
What
so
I'm trying to
because
say, before AI, suppose, let us suppose organization has 50 people. After AI, they can still work with the 10 people. Now
Mhm.
they don't need the 50 brains. They can work with the 10
50.
brains only.
Oh, so what I'm trying to say
So
is that
they will.
agar AI.
So this is the toolbar. So once you enter your user ID and password, this screen will get opened. So here at the top we are having menu bar. After that we are having the command field, and besides the command field we are having the standard toolbar. Below that we are having title bar, and after that we are having the application toolbar. So the most important is the command field. Command field is the area where we write our code, where we write our transaction code and press enter, and then the console screen will get open. We are having favorites, SAP menu, office, cross application components, collaboration projects, logistics, accounting, human resources, information system, and tools. 1 minute, I'll scroll down. See here. Let us take an example of this figure. See, suppose I have to edit any of the company code. First, I have to click on the SAP customizing implementation guide. Then sub-components get opened. In the custom configuration, activate business function, SAP NetWeaver, enterprise section. So then I click on the enterprise section. Again, sub-components get opened. Inside that, we have to click on definitions. Again, sub-components get opened. Then financial accounting. And then I reach to a point where I have to click and do the editing of my company code. So for one time it's normal, that's not an issue, but on a daily basis it's a very hectic process that you have to again come down to this location, and if you want to use another transaction, again you have to just close this and open another tree. So this is very troublesome. For that, SAP has recommended certain transactions. So for that, let us suppose you have created one transaction XY01. So SAP has stored, if you write over here in the command line XY01 and press enter, so then this will get opened. This screen will get opened, which will get opened if you click on click. So instead of clicking and opening sub components and create a hierarchy, we simply write that T code in the command line and press enter.